Chapter 6408. Duncan hurried forward and asked him in French, "Where is the highest person in charge here?" The other person answered truthfully, "Our deputy manager is on the night shift in the office." Duncan nodded, "Take us to see him." The other person immediately said, "Please follow me." After that, the other person immediately turned around, stepped into the door, and walked to the second floor. Charlie and Duncan followed behind him and came to the second office at the end of the corridor on the second floor. The man pointed to the door of the office. Duncan walked up and knocked twice. The man inside also said in French, "Come in." Duncan pushed the door open and entered. Charlie followed closely. The man saw the two people and asked in surprise, "Who are you?" As soon as he finished speaking, he was also psychologically hinted by Charlie. Then Charlie said to Duncan, "Inspector Lee, let him introduce us to the operation mode here, as well as the freight records of Duke Mining. It would be better if there were train driving records." Duncan immediately asked the other party in French. And then the other party immediately introduced the general situation here to the two. Morocco mines nearly 40 million tons of phosphate every year, of which more than 10 million tons are exported. And the rest are used to make 20 million tons of phosphate derivatives for export, most of which are fertilizers. Most of the more than 30 million tons of goods are exported to all parts of the world. Part of the exports are consumed by other African countries, and the rest are basically exported from the port of Casablanca to the world. So the railway transportation here is very busy. At least 20 to 30 freight trains loaded with goods enter the station every day. The trains in and out of the port do not operate 24 hours a day, but operate 14 hours a day, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tonight, 2 freight trains will arrive in succession within half an hour. After these 2 trains arrive, no more trains will arrive tonight. And the management office can also go off work, leaving only 2 people on daily duty. However, the freight yard works 24 hours a day. The trains that come in at night have to unload overnight. And many goods that will be shipped out early tomorrow morning must also be loaded at night. The main railways in Morocco are basically owned by the Moroccan National Railway Bureau. That is the Moroccan National Railway. However, since this is a supporting facility of the port, the port's own transportation management office is responsible for the internal facilities of the yard. As for all trains, train-related drivers, and maintenance personnel, they are employees of the Moroccan National Railway. The operation plan of freight trains is also dispatched by the Moroccan National Railway. It is only responsible for receiving the plan, arranging the order and time of cargo loading and unloading according to the train operation plan, and arranging trains to stop at designated locations and load and unload goods at designated times. The area where Duke Mining is located is in the core phosphate-producing area of Morocco, about 200 kilometers away from here, and happens to be on the dedicated railway belt for phosphate transportation. Every phosphate enterprise that reaches a certain scale along the way can pay the Moroccan National Railway to build a branch line directly into the enterprise to facilitate train traffic and reduce transportation costs, in addition to paying the Moroccan National Railway a construction fee. The enterprise must also pay the National Railway a threshold fee and transportation costs for specific transportation after connecting to the trunk line. However, even so, the unit transportation cost of the enterprise is much cheaper than that of automobile transportation. Although Duke Mining is not the largest phosphate enterprise here, its scale is also medium to large. The annual phosphate production is about 1 million tons. Duke Mining does not engage in the production of derivatives. All phosphates produced are exported. Therefore, they have a train loaded with phosphates departing from Duke Mining and arriving at the port almost every day. Coincidentally, the two learned from each other that the last freight train scheduled to arrive at the port tonight was from Duke Mining. This train is expected to arrive at the station around 8:45. And tomorrow's freight train schedule happens to include a train to Duke Mining. This means that a batch of imported goods from Duke Mining has arrived at the port and will be loaded and shipped back tomorrow. As for the driving record video that Charlie wanted to see, the management office was not qualified to retrieve it. But they could wait until the train arrived and find a way to check inside the locomotive. After hearing this news, Charlie immediately said to Duncan, "It's better to arrive at the right time than to arrive early. Let's check out this freight train today and find out what Duke Mining will ship back tomorrow."